Charles Campbell, hoopdfw.com. I'm here with Ani Umana, Brandon Jenkins, TABC Preview Showcase. Well, Showcase Preview live, man. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Just back on the grind. I'm glad I don't got to travel as much for the rest of this month, so I'm actually excited about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm just happy for the big weekend. Very happy.
yeah. We know you just woke up. Wiped the crust out of your eyes and came on the show. Ani, we're not gonna bully Brandon today. Not too much though. Not too
Yeah,
much.
I'm a bully him.
Nah, but seriously, man, let's hop into TABC. It's exciting. Texas basketball for the summertime is back, man. We get to watch, these high schools together with their head coaches. It's exciting. A lot of college coaches. I talked to them, man. Ani, I saw you did like a 60-page preview.
Yeah, I did. Every year at TABC, I do a preview. It'd be like 60 to 70 pages, and it's like just a breakdown of like the top players, the teams with the guys. So just a lot of evaluations. This year was probably about close to like 18,000 words.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I go pretty in depth with this. So it's usually kind of helps map like a map for the college coaches what teams and players to watch, and also I also put like their schedules and everything. So it's not just straight evals. It's like just real information.
Very thorough, man. How can coaches tap in with you to get access to that if they haven't already?
Yeah, subscribe to the scouting service, or just 5-Star Hoop Report, or just hit me directly, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah,
Brandon, put a lot of time in it. You know what I
mean? Yeah, we got to get that out there, man. You put all that time in there, you just can't let that sit. But I know you have tons of college coaches, man. Very much so a voice in Texas high school basketball. Brandon, what do you have anything that you offer coaches previews? I know you're the voiceover king now, so.
Yeah, no, I did a couple of rankings reports leading into the month, and then I just did a players to watch list, non-eval type, but more just like, hey, if you're watching this school, these are the players that you probably need to look out for, and just put their levels on it, sent that out to coaches. So yeah, just try to make sure that these guys are prepared and they know what they're looking at by the time they walk in.
Absolutely. Man, let's just hop right on into it. We're going to go to Saturday night. We have the main floor, the arena schedule. Just want to jump right in. First game of the day is Ani's favorite twins, Dallas Parish against Houston Xavier. I'm in Dallas, so I'm not familiar with many Houston teams until we see them at state. Does anyone know Houston Xavier? Who's on that squad? Do we know?
Yeah, they have a kid, Amir Bryant, 227, really athletic forward, kind of transition more to be more like a 3-4. Reminds me a little bit like in the prototype of like Trent Perry. Doesn't have like the ball skills or like the real slashing ability, but he's a really good cutter. He's athletic, long arms, really plays with his length. Then they have a big fellow, Makadou Diop, 226, who's talented. Be interested to see what level he goes to at the end, but a Division I prospect that then college coaches are trying to figure out like how good he is. So that's a really good matchup against the Twins, who have Armand and Antoine, my bad, and they also Hudson Lucas.
You're definitely going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, I am. Jay Fry going to get me for that. Shout out to Jay Fry.
For sure. Shout out Jay.
But Hudson Lucas is another big that's going to be a good matchup with Hudson and Makadou. So 2 guys that are Division I level, like prospects that are intriguing. Kind of see, how it ends.
And if I'm not mistaken, me and that photo that you posted, Charles, of me and Ani, we were at the at Sloan's opening tip-off event. I forgot the exact name of the event, but I think that was when I first saw Makadou. And I think he had a good game. He was kind of like an undersized 5'4", just operating inside, scoring with touch. And so like kind of piggybacking off of what Ani said, I'm just looking forward to seeing how good the Xavier prospects are. I haven't really got to look at Amir Bryant. Okay. If he was in that game, he really didn't do anything to jump off the page at me, but I've heard about his talent and whatnot. And so I'm just really interested to see how they prove themselves, because this is year 2 for them, right, Ani?
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in to see an update from the Twins. You know, I haven't seen them this summer, but you know, I see they kind of are got another offer there, and just I mean, they play hard, man. Those kids really play hard. They're tough. They rebound. They make it hard for people, man. They're in games that you wouldn't
Yeah.
think that they're in. So I'm definitely looking forward to kind of seeing them. Uh, next game, defending state champions Denton Guyer versus Friendswood. You know, Silas Rodriguez, his last run. You know, sniper, shooter, mid-range guy, 3-point guy. I'm interested to see what he's added to the bag.
Yeah, I heard he had a pretty good May live period with Southern Assault. He's been hurt for a majority of the spring, but he came back in May. Interested to see how he is. This Friendswood has Chase Richardson. That's a guard that, again, like he's a 227, so it's going to be some time to see what level he is. But
Yeah.
he has some like power four intrigue as far as where he could go. So he's another like crafty guard that has real vertical pop. And then Den Geyer, they have a 228 Marcellus Luster, brother of CJ Luster, who's really coming along. Him and Siles are going to spray a lot of threes. So
Oh yeah.
that's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, I saw Marcellus at the War Before the Storm, him and his Max Levels team, and
Mhm.
he's almost in the mold of his brother. I say probably has better ball skills right now than his brother did at the same time. But you're right, they're gonna let it go, man. They're gonna let it fly. They're gonna shoot it, and if they're on, man, it's gonna be a long, long, long day for Friendswood, for real,
One
for
hundred
sure.
percent.
11-10. You know, we got a nice little intriguing matchup. Katie Jordan and recent Duke offer Austin Gooseby and Melissa.
I woke up to that offer this morning. I didn't even realize, when was it announced? Was that announced last night?
It was
Yeah.
yesterday. I think it was yesterday afternoon. Were you surprised by that?
No, I've been talking to some of the coaches, and I know that there was a level of intrigue there. My thing is just basically like, what is he going to do? I know that the coaches are going to show up to watch him play, so this is really going to be his weekend.
Yeah.
From the perspective of all eyes will be on him. I'm pretty sure he's going to attract coaches from Duke, BYU, Texas, Kansas. So like, he's going to be the hottest name in the gym when it comes to like who the coaches are watching. So I want to see how he responds to it. I think he's kind of had the reputation up to this point, or leading up to this point, since the grassroots season, of being like the number one player in Texas.
Yeah.
But I think Ani would agree with it. It hasn't been clear cut in this class, like throughout the duration of us following the 2026 class. So I'm interested to see if he makes a statement, solidifying his status as the number one player and even potentially a burger boy long term. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Trey
He-
Edwards is Trey. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ani.
No, I agree with Brandon. I think there has been some level of separation this past month. For me, I've probably seen like, I won't say too much of Austin Gooseby, but like Arizona EYBL, Kansas EYBL, NBA Top 100 camp, and I felt like he's been playing pretty good. I do think this is another event where he does, like Brandon said, he does need to show out. But I think there's some level of separation, but there's some other guys we'll talk about that are like right there with him. That we'll get to later. But yeah, I think he's kind of taken, like, he's shown that he is number one with his play the past 30 days. But I do think like there's some guys that are really like trailing him, and they're coming right up on him.
I know when I saw him last year, and I was sitting there with A. Brooks from Kentucky, and I think the question mark was on the jump shot. They were wondering about, can he shoot? You know, is he a streaky shooter? Is he a consistent shooter? Have you seen any updates from him on that in his shooting ability, Ani?
Yeah, like I would say a little bit on the streaky side, but he's very capable. Like he's gonna make open shots, like open threes he knocks down. Off like harder closeouts. I think that's where you kind of get little, it can be up and down just depending on how the game is flowing for him. But I definitely think he's so independable to make open shots right now.
Yeah. Trey Edwards, as I was saying, he's coming into his sophomore season. Had a decent freshman year, playing over there with that AB Elite squad. So I mean, he's a player to watch. His running mate, but I agree with you. All eyes are going to be on Austin Gooseby. I'm sure that game will be packed with coaches, with fans, with people. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on. And then at 12:15, Ani, it's Killeen Ellison and your Texas Storm guys.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one. I enjoy not coaching anymore because like my nerves when coaching TABC was crazy. So yeah, Killeen Ellison. Uh, Brandon knows the last name is Parks.
Sean
Really
Parks.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean Parks, really good player, steady, defends, can kind of get to the paint. It's a good player, like really good player. Got to see him with Texas Impact this summer. He's a very intriguing like guard prospect. And for Texas Storm, I'll talk briefly because I don't want to, I know my affiliations.
You can be a
Nah,
homer.
go
You can be a
ahead, go
homer.
ahead.
Nah, you can be a homer, bro. Be a
Yeah,
homer.
I could be a
go
homer,
ahead.
but
Show the world.
we definitely got three of them, like Austin Centers, 6'4", 6'5" wing. Just got off from Air Force. Tyson Hurd, who's really come along. A lot of coaches been hitting me about him. He's a guard, about 6'1". Really can score the basketball, but really showing off more of his playmaking, having a good summer with max levels.
I was
Braden,
wondering about that with him.
Yeah, he's starting to really come along. He's growing up. He's growing up. That's the big thing. Just off the court, just really becoming a leader. And then Braden Jones, who recently he got his offer from Lamar, took an official visit there. It's another kid that mid plus schools have been reaching out about because the talent is there. Just see if he puts it together this week. It's gonna be a big weekend for those three, to be honest with you. It's gonna be a huge weekend for those guys.
Who is coaching your team now?
Steven Spurlock Jr. So the older brother of Seven Spurlock.
So does that mean that there could be a 7 Spurlock incoming? No. Oh, okay. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we let Seven got his own path. There's some better situations for him.
I got you. Next up, brand new Duncanville without Peavy, without my goodness, Beckham, without Beckham. Just a brand new team, but very capable coach in Ford. Coach Ford is a winner against a humble Atascocita squad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really just interested to see the jump that Deuce Hunt takes after, now that Bug and Beckham are not there anymore. The ball is going to be in his hands, and Duncanville is going to need him to win. So I'm interested to see the strides that he made and being a true point guard while also balancing it out and being able to get his shot off. And then I'm also interested in seeing how he makes the other dudes better. I know they got Bebe Groom over there now from North Crowley. He transferred over there to Duncanville. He's a great shooter. And then the Lucky Harbor kid from Waxahachie, I think he's over there too.
Yeah.
I like Lucky, man. I do.
Lucky. That's a prototype we've seen before. That's definitely a prototype we've seen before in terms of him.
Yeah, I mean, I like Bebe too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so, I'm interested to see the jump that they make. It's going to be a younger group, but at the same time, I mean, that's the beauty of it. You get to see the strides that they can make when these kids are thrown through the fire. And so,
yeah, I'm interested to see Bebe as well. He can really shoot the basketball. Playing with that 99 overall team over there on the Adidas circuit. He can shoot it. He can score. He's got super long arms. And he has varsity experience. He showed up early for that North Crowley team last year. And then obviously made the move over to Duncanville. But yeah, I'm interested to see what that new group looks like. But Deuce Hunt for sure. From what I understand, he's found his rhythm. He's finding his rhythm as a point guard. Last year primarily being in a secondary ball handler role, scoring, making it happen. So this year we'll see how he gets people involved and kind of balances the scoring versus the playmaking. But they may need him to be Bug Jr., Bug 2.0, just start letting it fly, start scoring, getting it done, because that's definitely what Bug did last year. So then we have Allen, versus Katie Seven Lakes.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Allen with the additions of Kadarian Urune. They picked up another guard that's going to really help them a lot. And then one player to note that talking to Chris Blakely, he said Tyson Chandler, son. I don't know if it's Tyson Chandler Jr. I don't know if it's
really?
But yeah, he's a 228. He's big, about 6'7". Second actually really stretched the floor. Had long arms, kind of built like his father. That's another one that to definitely take a look at. I'm interested to see Kadarian. With that Allen system, he's a defensive guard. He really thrives in transition, and that's all Allen is, defense and playing fast. So I think he's going to look really good in that setting. And then Seven Lakes, Isaiah Santos, 227, like a big wing guard prospect that's like a bully. It really utilizes his size to create space in the paint. He has really good passer feel. He just strong, like drive game is great. All that. Then I would say the biggest one for me there is going to be Nazir Price. Coming back from an ACL injury, he hasn't looked great this spring and summer. You can tell he's still trying to kind of get his rhythm back.
Yeah.
I want to see like if he's 100% back to where he is. You know, his recruitment. I mean, I don't know how it is, but I mean, there's not high majors just calling like it was when he was younger.
Right.
So interested to see like, okay, is he back to himself? Is he looking like the scoring, you know, versatile like guard prospect that we saw when he was younger?
Now everybody wants to know where he's at. Like everybody wants to know where he's at, and I think that's just one of the things. Like he was known, like Ani said, he was known as a big time bucket getter. I think his debut in high school was like a 27 point performance against Compass Prep. When they were stacked. So you know, it just takes time when you're coming back from an injury. But
it does.
You know, this is kind of like a make or break weekend for him. Like he has a chance to rewrite his narrative and like keep this train rolling, or you know, it can make another turn. So yeah, he's the biggest intrigue, but I think we can expect Isaiah Santos, his running mate in the 27 class, to come out there, play hard, and you know, also show great defensive timing.
The game that is going to be just ridiculously packed with every camera person in this state, if not all the ones that are coming in from all over the country. Dynamic Prep versus San Antonio, Brennan. Everybody wants to see the show. Marcus Spears, Ryan Hampton. But you know, I think the thing that's like really sets them over the top is they've added David Ballarine from Lufkin. He's a big that is he can be very, very dominant. Block shots, rebound, run the floor. He's trying to dunk everything in everyone. And he can stretch the floor a little bit. You know, if he gets in a good rhythm, he can step out and hit threes. But, you know, that Dynamic Prep team is just, you know, their first year in OTE this year. But they are absolutely loaded.
Yeah, like they're big. You talking about Ryan Hampton, Marcus Spears, adding Phoenix Woodson, like you said, David Ballarine. I mean, and then Avery Huston. You know, at the point, I mean, they got a lot of positional size, right? Like when they go those jumbo lineups, it's gonna be really hard to score on them, and especially like on the other end, Brendan's gonna have to be creative on the defensive end. But you know, they got experienced coach like Donovan Chris, who's really coming along. You know, as a player, you know, he's been doing great in the Puma circuit and has a chance to be a high major guy. You know, Dynamic is loaded, but you know, I won't count Cody and that group out. There's some like Taylor Todd and Isaiah Ward. He's still there, I believe. So like they still got a good core group that's experienced, made deep playoff runs, but that Dynamic group, they're loaded.
Yeah, I think I would roll Dynamic on that one. I would count Brendan out, just because I know Dynamic is trying to get their get back. Y'all remember what they did in the out?
You remember what they did last year?
You know what I mean? So ain't no way they finna come in with all these dudes. Obviously, like Marcus, Ryan, and Avery have a lot of experience playing together. Ain't no way they finna come in there. I think they finna give it. It's not finna be pretty.
It can get ugly. You think it can get ugly? And then Jermaine, you know, Jermaine is petty as a coach too, so he wants to smash you.
Yeah, right. It is that. So it has nothing to do with what Brendan is bringing to the table. I think it has everything to do with like Dynamic being angry for their revenge, and then you know, the talent level. You know what I mean? So it's just I don't see that one being a close one, but I'm pretty sure you know, Coach Calgill is gonna make me eat my words. So.
Yeah, I hope you don't. And if I hope you do, I hope he finds you after the game and tells you that if he's watching it. If y'all are watching from down there in San Antonio, let him know what Brandon just said so we can get him pushed back in the hallway.
Don't worry, Brandon. Cody's made me eat my words before. That's why I'm just like, I'm good.
I mean, like, you know, since you did it, I mean, like, why not just jump in there and make him even more?
Right, yeah, I feel that. I respect that. I respect that.
Oh, my gosh.
But Avery, I'm telling you, Avery,
he's so nice, man.
He's really turning the corner. So I feel like he's going to be a high major player.
He's going to get his all said and done. For sure.
And I think people are kind of overlooking him a little bit, like statewide.
I think that
maybe even nationally. Like, I think this is a dude who can get his high major stuff. I think him, and then I mean, I know we already mentioned Chase Richardson when we were talking about friends with her. I mean, these are platforms for these dudes to really emerge. I mean, like, you know, Chase was a dude who's playing point guard 17s with TJ Ford. Now he gets to come back in a situation where he's comfortable. He's around his dudes, his high school team, and they're looking at him to be the man. Like, why not see a kid like Chase Richardson? Why not see a kid named like Avery Houston blow up this weekend? I mean, they have the high major pop. They have a great skill set. All they really need is the platform and to have their moment at the right time. And, what a better time than the TABC Showcase for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 435, Cibolo Steel versus Richmond George Ranch. I'm completely clueless about both of these teams.
Logan Gonzalez,
Cibolo Steel. That's really the only one I know. Like, I ain't gonna lie, but he shoots the cover off the ball. Like,
does he really?
About 6'4", really shoots it. I labeled him like more like a Division II level player, but really good player. He's fun to watch. He can really make shots. Plays with the IFN group in the summer, and he's been making he has games where he makes 4 or 5 threes.
And he did it in front of coaches. Like he was productive in front of coaches during the May Live period, and he rebounds too. Like he'll get in the mix. So I mean, he's somebody who could probably shoot his way outside of his level. Who knows, or maybe shoot his way into the right level.
Right.
It's just a dude. He plays with a lot of confidence. I mean, you see the tattoos on his body, so he got some swag and some grit to it. So he's probably gonna put on for the city in his own way.
This next game is very, very intriguing. Crowley versus Beaumont United. I work out at Crowley. I'm at Crowley a lot, see their open gyms. Jalen Germany, I've tried to tell coaches about him, and they, okay, yeah, we're good. They're missing it. He's gotten taller. He's probably about 6'4" right now, maybe pushing 6'4.5", maybe. But offensively, I've yet to see anyone stop him. I've yet to see anyone speed him up. I've yet to see anyone cause him any problems. He's extremely skilled, and now he's playing above the rim, plays through contact, initiates contact, but he's just a guard that you look at and you go, what does it take in the state of Texas for y'all to wake up and see exactly who he is? But then he's playing next to Cam McGilvery. They added Kingston from Faith Family last year. And I mean, it's a small group, not gonna lie. It's a small group, but it's a very, very difficult group to guard because they all can get going in their own ways and they play well off of each other.
Yeah, I think that matchup is going to be great with just guard play. Like you talked about, Kingston Willis, who's kind of very steady, Cam McGilvery, Jalen Germany. I didn't even realize he's close to 6'4" now. That does change some things. I always thought he's someone on that team that, if you look at projection, has a chance to be projected the highest out of that group. But just want to see him put everything together. I just think it's just been real inconsistent. And he left the state last year, and no one really knew kind of how things were going. So it's going to be good to see him here. But when you talk about Beaumont United, Peyton Jones, that's what I'm saying. The guard match is going to be crazy because Peyton Jones, he's there. That's going to be a dogfight with the guard play. Then obviously they have Ephraim Moore. Hopefully I'm saying his first name.
Yeah,
right.
I hope so. I was about to say
they call him EJ too, though.
EJ, okay. EJ
he's
Moore.
a big to watch, man. He's bruh. Last year at Snoop's event, he didn't play like he was a freshman last year. He played like he was a junior or maybe a senior. I mean, he's an excellent big to watch. Coach, if you're looking for a big, that's definitely someone you need to keep an eye on.
Absolutely.
My thing is with Jalen Germany, kind of what Ani said, the whole consistency factor last year, I would get a chance to watch him play. And, you could tell that there was something there just naturally with the pace. And you could see, it isn't hard to see that he had a natural skill level. But in terms of putting it all together, there was nothing that really just jumped off the page with his skill level when it came to a production standpoint. He would have some moments, he would have some spurts, but he wouldn't a complete game. He wouldn't have it at the right times, especially when I was watching it. And then fast forward to this year, I mean, he's the reason why IFN has been successful on the UAA circuit this year. Like you said, he's grown a couple of inches. I think the one thing I'm looking for is the open threes that mean the most. There's a difference between, knocking down threes within the flow of a game, but knocking down the loud threes that could change that can alter your
change the
recruitment.
momentum.
And I think that's what he was missing in the live period. He was one of the top performers I've seen on the circuit back in May. But now I think if he can have moments where he's just lights out making open shots, you just can't leave him open.
Yeah.
I think he will be able to put something together because he has natural feel. He has the positional size. And he has a lot of pace too. He has a lot of
Yeah,
pace.
I
So
love his pace. I
yeah,
absolutely love his pace.
there's just a lot that he brings to the table, and I think he'll have a chance to pick up a lot of offers just because it's not a strong point guard class in the class of 2026 in the state. So I mean, he'll have a chance to separate himself in his own regard.
I think he could potentially be top 10 in this class if he can kind of pick it up this next 30 days. I mean, when you look at the 226 class in the state of Texas, I mean, after like you get to 5 or 6, it's really wide open. So, yeah, I mean, he has that level of talent. It just depends on if he wants to be that or not.
If he wants to make it happen, absolutely. 750, another one. Houston Legacy versus the Colony.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Houston Legacy with Aiden Clark at 228 guard, who's had a really good, season with Max Levels in the New Balance circuit. And then they also have another kid, last name Ndiao. I forgot. Ndiao, about 6'4", 6'5" from Qatar. Like a versatile wing prospect. I like him a lot. He's someone that I want to see if he can put it all together, because he has like the body, the athleticism, the skill, and the feel. Just like very like inconsistent with his play sometimes a little bit wild. But he's talented. He has versatility. I want to see if he can kind of, make that step, because he's another one Division I coaches like, but don't know what level he is right now.
I like Broderick Wyatt too, the lefty, kind of a bully guard, big body, lefty, initiates contact. I like him too. Him and Aiden next to each other. That should be pretty interesting, especially against the Colony. Those Dakari Spear and Bryce Dixon, yes. And Bryce Dixon brings that lunch pail to work every day. That's what he wants to do. So it should be a nice one.
Yeah, Bryce Dixon is another one too. Like, I know we talked about a couple of them, but it's like, okay, what level are you?
Yeah.
He had a good Pangos camp. You can tell he's really growing in his offensive game, but like, what level is he? He's another one that they're like, is he no-brainer power forward guy? Is he a mid-major? Like, what is he? So I think again, like him showing like, obviously the motor, the toughness, the rebounding, but like, can he, shoot it? Can he make some spot of threes at a higher clip? Can he show like more like efficient and translatable perimeter game?
Yeah. Birdville and Austin Westlake. So I was at Birdville last week. I was at their practice, and Sawyer Dawson is probably 6'7" now. Would y'all confirm that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He plays kind of, on his team he does everything, but this is a bona fide wing that can shoot the ball, shoot the cover off the ball, 6'7", but he can also play in the mid range. He can get to the elbow, he can get to the nail, he can get there and actually cause problems. But he's also a bit of a playmaker. Avery Webb's body is starting to look crazy. He's been in the weight room, so he's dunking off a vert now. He's trying to dunk people, get into the paint. Birdville is a scary group, and they have a chip on their shoulder from last year and losing in that state championship game.
I think Sawyer Dawson is one of the best specialists in the state.
Yep.
I'm always going back to that Under Armour live period, but he was another one who was a stand-up performer. He was probably one of the better sleeper recruits that I've seen at the live period, just because every time he launched it from behind the arc, you thought it was going in.
Yes.
And so I think he's going to attract a lot of coaches, because at the end of the day, like, shooting is just always at a premium in college basketball. So I think we could see coaches from an array of levels just watching him play, just because they know what's prioritized, and he can do it at that. He's just a great shooting forward, and he's established a reputation over the years to where he's like a prominent name in the state. So yeah, one of the better specialists we have to offer.
And right next to him is Avery Webb, who's another specialist. Like I think Birdville, having those two, like, Sawyer's really came along. He's grown, like you said, Charles. He can really shoot the basketball, but also have another guard that can really shoot it. It's going to be a fun team to watch.
Yeah. Well,
and then we can't forget Westlake.
I was about to say, Mr. Euro Camp MVP, Bo Ogden.
Yep. Bo. Bo just brings a lot to the table. I know people want to talk about the shooting. I like how he can really attack closeouts and be a good decision maker there, like a second side, like the playmaker, scorer. He rebounds really well at the 3 spot. I think Bo, I wouldn't say Bo is underrated, but I would say like I think the other parts of his game doesn't get talked about. Like they say, oh yeah, he makes shots, he can break threes, yeah, but like he has good feel. He can put the ball on the floor and make good decisions. He rebounds. He's tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that part of his game, I think gets overlooked.
Absolutely. That'll be exciting. And speaking of them, they have a matchup with one of my sleeper teams against Dallas Carter on Saturday.
Yeah.
Carter, I was at their practice last week also, and they are looking great. Terrell Jackson, he's starting to play big. He's posting up strong, posting up big, posting up wide, finishing everything at the rim, dunking things, blocking shots, rebounding, running the floor. But they also have a wing. A lot of people say, "Oh, he's not a wing." He's a legit wing. Shakir Kazee. He was injured last year. I think he broke his wrist or hand, something he couldn't play. But he's a legit 6'10". He's a 6'10" forward, can shoot it, put it on the floor, defends, runs the floor. But as a unit, they play fast, they play strong, and then their point guard is starting to do his own thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon, talk about like what you like out of Carter, like Amarion Hunter and them.
So like with him, I'm interested to see the trajectory of his recruitment because at the end of the day, he has that natural Carter guard game. Like, he can get buckets, he can score. And obviously with the coach that he's playing for, like his confidence is going to be juiced up. So I'm just interested to see like how far that takes him this weekend, whether it be narrative wise, offer wise, whatnot. Because I'm expecting this dude to show up, play with confidence, make open shots. And like he changes the momentum of a game in the way that he gets his buckets. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot with him. It's just a natural Carter swag to his game. It's like he's following in the footsteps of those behind him. And then I know you mentioned Terrell. I'm interested to see how well his forward skills have came along.
They're getting better. They're getting so much better.
Yeah, I think coming up, we were expecting him to be a natural 5, but then off a size perspective, we know which way this is going. So I'm just interested to see. I mean, we know he's coming with the motor, the activity level. He kind of is pesky too. I know we don't use that word for court, but he has some pay like time. He'll poke some balls loose. He's very active. But I'm interested to see his face-up tools. I think there's a foundation of skill there. It's just about putting it all together. And then in terms of the big wing that Charles mentioned, I met this dude in the elevator in Austin randomly, like during my birthday weekend. Like he was just in the elevator. I didn't even
remember that.
Didn't even know the kid.
You remembered that?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not going to tell you what I was doing versus what he was doing, but at the end of the day, like, I met him in the elevator in Austin. I was just like, bro, you go to Carter? He's like, yeah. I don't know if Brody remembers me, so I'm interested to see what he brings to the table because, like, I mean, like, me and my homeboy are walking down the hallway, and this tall, lanky kid is just walking down with some Carter shorts on. I'm like, is that a prospect? I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't worried about basketball right now.
Let me tell you this though too. Let me interject real quick. He's brilliant. He's on pace to be the valedictorian of the high school. I sat down, did an interview with him. Extremely smart. Any of you high academic schools, high academic coaches, like you need to go and see this kid. Like he's not on the radar. We haven't seen him a lot. I watched him in Mansfield Lake Ridge's summer league the other day, and they're a buzzsaw. Their whole unit is a buzzsaw. Athleticism, speed, size, quickness, strength, attitude, like you said. And Amarion Hunter, he makes it all go. I'm interested to see if you remembered that too. That's funny that you did remember that.
No, yeah. No, I mean, like I seen him. I was like, bro, you go to Carter? He's like, yeah. It's just like, he's like, you know about Carter? I was like, yeah, bro, but like let's not worry about me or anything. We can figure that out later. Just I'm worried about you now because you over here all tall and stuff. Like I feel like I should know who you are.
Yeah, they're definitely a group to watch. I mean, we got to come back and watch Kimball too. Kimball is a staple in Dallas ISD basketball. Mari Wesley, obviously, he is, I think this is the year that he's really going to take over the program. It'll be his team. And he's making strides and taking steps. But, it's just be interested to see what that group has. They bring back some guys from last year. I think they might lose some athleticism but that group was just uber athletic. They were just dumb athletic, but they play hard, they defend. and they've been in open gym going at each other. So it'll be good to see them go against another group.
Yeah, I agree. Like Jalen Hancock is one that
Shooter.
like an athletic like wing guard that can make open shots. Again,
Yeah.
like let's see how polished his skill set is and like see how he performs at this time. But yeah, Kimball definitely has some guys, especially Mari Wesley. I'm big on Mari Wesley. Got I've seen a lot of him this spring, summer, just really like the Kansas City EYBL. Beckham was at USA, so Mari played a lot on the ball. So really got to see like the playmaking, like the passing talent and stuff like that, which I was impressed with. He was making open shots. Like he knew when to take those perimeter jumpers. I wouldn't say like jump shooting is like a pure strength of his, but like he knows when, okay, I'm in rhythm to take these, or hey, let me get to the rim now. Hey, they're playing hard help. Let me throw this lob. Like just his touch on his passes and his feel is really good. He's not just a straight bully. Like he has real like feel and skill.
I love that he's a dog too. Like he's a real dog. He takes those matchups very personally, and he takes it, like you can't stop me. Even though, I mean, he's like you said, he's a wing for sure. Last year he was more of like a forward. They used him kind of on the interior a lot.
Yeah.
But even in those matchups, he's posting up bigger guys, bodying, fighting, playing with a real edge, with a real chip, man. He's one of my favorite players to watch in that class. And I mean in the area as a whole. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they will do. We skipped we skipped Dallas St. Mark's. Everything points to Dawson coming back and being the guy for St. Mark's.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to see, what gets done this season.
Yeah. From what I've seen, he's been playing pretty good. I mean, YGC, now Southern Ties, really showing like the jump shooting. The shot is real. Like especially like corner threes, trail threes, the shot's real. When he realizes like, okay, I got the size advantage, and goes in the post and scores. Like when he blends where he's getting his shots, he's been really, really effective. And there was one game in Wichita in May, live period, where it was like, okay, like he came back from the flu. He told me, and he's like, hey, my jumper is not on. So like everything to the paint, rebounding, just going to go at it. And I like that he just had to feel like, okay, for us to win this game, I need to just be on the glass and just be in the paint. So he's been good. Just again, I'm nitpicking, just a little bit more of a blend and inside out. Sometimes he can kind of float around too much, but he's been playing really good and showing why he's ranked as high as he is.
What do you think about Dawson, Brandon?
I love him. I've been a big advocate for him reaching 5-star status in our national rankings, going back all the way to when we debuted the rankings. Actually, the first update was a debut. So I just think he brings a lot to the table that translates to the highest levels of the sport. Ani mentions the shooting. Just because of how pretty his mechanics are, I think he can tap into being a specialist long term.
Yeah.
He has like a baseline of tools that just translate. I mean, when you look at his body, I mean, I know he hasn't fully filled out yet, but once it does, I mean, like that could be physically imposing, right? He can put the ball on the floor. He isn't even a fully engaged rebounder yet. Like once he taps into that, I mean, there's just so much that he can tap into that he hasn't yet. But the baseline is he has an offensive skill set, and that jumper has always been pretty.
It's so beautiful.
So, yeah, and so when you think about that, I was talking to some Blue Bloods about him, and I was just like, yo, like, I mean, this dude, yeah, he has everything he needs to be a pro, like, and to stay in the league just because of like the foundation of tools, and it's just natural. So I'm always going to be a big advocate for him, and just off the court wise, he carries himself so well.
Great kid.
You just know that he is a great guy, somebody that people would like to be around, and somebody that doesn't need to dominate the ball to be effective and to help a team win. So
also on that team, Asher Collins, 227, kind of just like a hard playing, kind of blue collar type forward. And then 229s, Mike Sorrell Jr.
Hey, man, yes.
Dang, he in high school now? I'm getting old.
He is in high school. He is hold on. And he's like, go ahead.
Yeah, he's like 6'3", like getting close to 6'4".
Yeah, man. It'll be exciting to see what Mike Sorrell does. Because I'm sure, he's been itching to really kind of get back on the court, obviously, after his injury. But as a freshman, he has a lot of tools, and like you said, man, he is pushing 6'3", 6'4". As a point guard, can handle it. Has always been a good shooter. And it's just getting those varsity reps and coming up on the varsity level. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. Um, for sure, for sure. I was at high school yesterday.
Hmm.
They've got some new pieces. Caleb Richard has transferred from Mansfield Summit. Over there at Mansfield Summit, he was more of a shooter, a wing. But at high school, looks like he's going to have the ball in his hands and be their point guard. And then, are you guys familiar with Terrence Burry out of Oklahoma?
That's like the 6'6" kid.
Yeah, Terrence Burry,
Yeah.
6'6", long, looks like a player. He's playing well. That's gonna be a good group to watch. Coaches should track it. You have Wyatt Seal, you have Bo Seal, and then, I don't know why this kid doesn't get a lot of press, but Mario Wooden is he's very good, man. 6'6", kind of does it all, plays very well off the ball, but he can play with it in the ball. But he's a scorer. He can put up 20, 30 points when you look up and not even realize it. But I think high school will be a really good team to watch. And then, they have the stretch big Wyatt Seal, who plays for 3D. So it'll be fun. It'll be a really good team to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Caleb Richard, seeing him on the ball is going to be interesting. I think that's going to be like that's always been like the next layer of his game.
Yeah.
Just on the ball, like decision making stuff like that. Wyatt's kind of his toughness and yeah, the Tyree kid. He's very intriguing. I saw him about a year ago. I thought he has some stuff to him.
Yeah, he does. I think for him, it's a matter of getting used to the competition. High
Yeah,
school plays that national schedule. They played Wasatch to the buzzer last year, beat Sunrise. They play some dudes, and so for him, it's just a matter of coming along. But he's every bit of a player, and they got some young fellas too. They got some freshmen and some sophomore guards coming up. Our school is a team. I mean, I think last year was a team that really kind of put them on the rise, but they're coming right along.
yeah. Aiden McClinton, the 229 kid.
Yes, yes, Aiden McClinton.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, we're about to wrap it up here. But who are you guys just telling coaches that you really need to see, that we may not have talked about? I know we talked about a lot of kids, a lot of teams, a lot of matchups. But any sleepers, anybody that you know coaches should be aware of?
Yeah, I think in Barbers Hill, Wake Wesley. Um, 6'7", really shoots the basketball, really good cutter. Just a kid with size that can really shoot it, not just stand
Yeah,
still, like movement. He's really intriguing. I like him a lot. He's someone that could really kind of blow up this weekend with his play. Uh, Going back to Tascasita, like Jakai and Adam Boyd and the Zason kid, like I think those three guys are, again, like Division I talents. What level are they? I think for
right,
me, it's just like, what level are you? That's how
That's like
because
the
right,
team of the weekend.
right.
It's really
Because
the team of the weekend.
when I did the report, it was like I had a little wider ranges, right? Well, the nature of college basketball is so different. Like a kid that I could say is like low to mid could end up going Division II, right? Like a
yeah,
kid that like I say like borderline high major kid could really go like a mid major league. So um just what level are you? I think that's kind of what I want to see here is like, okay, let's get more defined with where you're at, where your recruitment is, what you are and stuff. I have a little bit wider ranges, nothing too crazy, but I mean, there's just so many guys. I'm like, okay, like you kind of show spurts here that you this, and then you'll have like a stretch. You'll have stretches here where it's like, okay, like you figuring out. Then you go back to just being like bad, right?
right,
So I know like no one's perfect. Like these players are humans. Like they play a lot of basketball, but I do this weekend's going to show. Okay, you're this, you're that. Like the obvious ones, like Austin Gooseby's going to stay high major. Like Bryson Howard, everyone needs to go watch. He's like potentially could be a top 25 player in the country, and he's still 16, right? Like Frisco Heritage, but the no brainer ones, Dakari, all that. But like these guys that are like borderline high major, or like they're have Division I talent but haven't put together yet, like Jalen Germany. What are you going to do this weekend?
right.
Yeah, I
I want
think
to take
so.
a quick. Go ahead, Brandon. You have something?
Oh yeah, no, just in terms of the sleepers, I'm looking at the little homie Amari Guetta. Um, that plays on pro skills out of San Antonio, and I think that's just a dude who impacts winning, and he's going to be exciting. I mean, like obviously he's short, very unassuming, but it's just a dude who gets stuff done. He can get into the paint, make the right play, hit open shots, turn the ball up, like force turnovers. So, I mean, that's just a dude I'm looking at. TK Taylor at San Angelo Central.
Yeah.
Long arm prospect, playing with he plays with Texas Impact in the summer. He's going to be comfortable running with this team. Obviously, people are just going to see the natural upside that he brings, and he has a high above the release shot, so he's going to get his shot off whenever he wants. So he's bound to go for some big games, playing the way that he does. Kid Jeremy Inyakunde, I just want to see if he plays.
Arlington Martin.
From Arlington Martin. I want to see if he plays with a level of intensity that can get him recruited at the Division I level. Obviously, when you see his size and his body, somebody's like, wow, like he might have a chance to do something, and he does. It's just all about bringing that intense, maturity to the game, prioritizing the glass, finishing plays. Like if he can do that, I think we could see his name pop around Twitter as somebody who can pick up some offers. Jackson Thompson, a bucket getter.
Yes,
a bucket getter.
Green Hill, absolutely.
Like who continues to get better. He just continues to get better. A big time 3-level scorer who is explosive around the rim. Do not let him surprise you with that. I think he can make some plays that will have him getting recruited at a higher level than we all expected.
And I would say, I want to pause right there. I'm like you said, we all expected that. Like his recruiting is just kind of weird to me. I mean, he can score it, he can fill it up, and he's athletic as like he kind of fits to me like the prototype of, the type of guards that teams like, especially the low D1s, those mid majors. Like I just feel like, man, I don't know if it's because he's playing at Green Hill, whatever, they don't get to see him, but coaches, if you're looking for a sleeper, he is absolutely someone you need to go see this weekend. And they have a game against Melissa. So, he will match up against Gooseby and Edwards and be able to show you exactly what he has.
Jackson Thompson reminds me of a kid that will go to a certain level Division I wise and then like may portal up. You know what I mean? Like he gives me portal up vibes. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna be really good in college,
Great family, great pedigree. Mom was a hooper. Like, that's who he is. He for sure is someone that needs to be watched.
Yeah, and then you got Luke Susko too. I mean, his recruitment hasn't really took form, but he's evolved as a shooter. He's always been tough, always rebounds it. I mean, there's just a lot of dudes, like Ani said, this is just a gray area with their recruitment. And so this is really going to be the determining factor on like where the narrative lies, where this thing goes, how we view these kids as they enter, their senior seasons. And even with the underclassmen, like how we view them, like if they're going to make a name for themselves, where we could just say bump the 26s. Hey, we got to talk about Marcus Spears. We got to talk about, even a guy like Drew Guy, who's like still trying to figure his way out there.
He's another one. Yeah. Amani Green, that's at Arlington Sam Houston. He's a tough as nails wing. He's starting to develop the jumper, but slashing, getting to the rim, I have yet to see someone stop him. I've yet to see someone keep him off the glass. Relentless defender, relentless rebounder. And, he just started playing a few years ago as far as taking it seriously. And I think Gasso just recently ranked him 37 in the state in that 27 class. But when it's all done, I truly expect Armani Green to be in the top 15 area of the rankings. He can really get it done at Sam Houston.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think him and Avery are just guys that are like, I buy stock into, like it's what they do just really translates. They're really coming around as basketball players. Like Armani is someone every time I see him play, he produces. And that says a lot. And like you said, everyone knows that he's going to drive and you still can't stop him.
You can't stop him.
like because, huh?
Who's he run with in the summer?
He was with Max Levels. I saw him last week at TCU team camp. He's with, I think it's EA Sports, something. I think it's EA Sports is what they're called.
That's correct.
Yeah, him and oh my gosh, what is the guard that was with? It basically looks like that they took the Max Levels, like the main guys. And
Jeremiah third kill,
little third kill, absolutely.
Third kill, little brother.
Yes, his little brother. Yes, exactly.
I heard he's a prospect.
Yeah, he
He
is.
is.
Yeah.
He is. And on that EA Sports team, they have the ball in his hands, and he looked pretty intriguing as a point guard because he's long, he's athletic. Again, he's another one that's developing his jump shot. For sure, I missed this because he just got over there. But that SOC group, that South Oak Cliff group, might be, he's kind of figuring it out. But Jonathan Bradley from Waxahachie, transferred over there. So now Antoine Thompson kind of has his guy running the show, and you saw what he did last year with Uriah. He likes to score and guard, and I think it could be that.
Yeah, John takes that to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to Tony Hobbs about him, just about like how he has that natural wiggle, that natural skill set. He's just a gamer, like a guy who got some serious go. And you playing for Antoine. Antoine lights a fire under his kids. You know what?
Does.
So when you just factor that in, I think John has a chance to really tap into something serious and establish a name for himself this weekend, deeper than what we.
Reminds me of TJ Birch with the finishing. Like he
Yeah.
may be the best finisher in that class. He has crazy touch when he's at the rim and like has a deep bag. Like different players, but kind of in that prototype of like just tremendous guard finishers that you can't stop from getting to the paint. And I think, and like you said with Antoine, like Antoine's going to light a fire under him, and he's going to be on straight go mode.
Vincent Green is at Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is intriguing because of the style that Doug plays. He loves to have those lead guards, the TJ Starks, the Mike Mileses, the Wade Taylors. I think Vincent Green should, he might be able to fall in as next in line, but he's got plenty of tools.
Definitely has ways to go. I mean, like the dude who can make open shots, and once he gets in the groove, he's very devastating. I think he's still in the transition of, making that switch from being a combo guard to a true point. But under Doug, he's probably going to get a chance to be able to do that and do it in an intense environment because, as we know, Lancaster is rah-rah up and down. And so I think his game is going to get a chance to grow. And obviously people are going to see the natural tools once he steps onto the floor, long arms, like ability just to get his shot off and get his game going.
Yeah. Right. And there's some other guys like in 227, like Christian Brown. I forgot where he played, like 227 guard out of Houston. Mm-hmm. I feel like that Houston 227 group, we talk about Chase Richardson, Christian Brown. There's another kid plays for that JL 316s that's really talented. Drawing a blank. But like I think that 227 guard group in Houston is really talented. Peyton Jones to me is like, I think he's really Reese Alston, obviously. But like Peyton Jones he's talented. He's really, really good. I think he's a high major prospect. The jump shooting's obviously going to be the swinging skill, but he has it. He has a lot of shit to him that's going to be really good.
You talking about he's like Dylan Jones buying him out of Katy Cinco Ranch.
That's another one.
Somebody who could touch the paint and spray it out to his teammates. Somebody who can stay in front of his defenders. Stay in front of his man on the defensive end. He can hit open shots too. I mean, that's just a true point guard that coaches will vibe with because, we don't really get that a lot. Just a dude who actually really has a feel for running the position. So, I think he's another one who can help himself. He already has that offer from Sam Houston State, but I think he can build off of that.
For sure.
I think one of the young fellas, Red Oak was a young group last year in terms of some of the players that they were leading on. But is it Burdine, AJ Burdine, 6'6" wing, class of 227? I mean, he has a chance to kind of, solidify himself and say, hey, here I am. We can see the updates on his game. But, last year he was he's extremely long. I mean, knee scraper arms, legitimate 6'6", kind of thin frame. But both mom and dad are Hooper. Mom is a JUCO coach. So, I think he's a player also that can sleep and kind of fall into that balance. But Red Oak is somebody you guys should definitely go see.
Yeah, they got Devin Kirk.
Yeah, Devin Kirk too. Yeah,
they got Devin Kirk. I think he has some Isaac Likely to him where he can just play multiple positions and impact winning. You can put him on the ball, you can initiate offense. You have him guarding 4s and 5s as a front court dude. He can play along the wing. Guard multiple positions. So I think he brings that motor. He has long arms in his own right too. And he was one of the top rebounders in the city, if I'm not mistaken, last year. So just somebody who can just give you it all. as Charles would say, has a lot of tools in the toolbox. So
you need to stop stealing my stuff. You be stealing my stuff, man. Man, I'll be on the phone with Brad and he's like, what did you just say? Hold on. And I know he's writing it down or putting it in his
he's
notes.
taking that.
I know he is, man. I know he
messing
is.
y'all Negroes.
Yeah, stealing my stuff. It's ridiculous.
I like AJ.
I do too.
Yeah, really good in transition. Really utilizes his length. Probably a little bit more prospect and player right now. But man, like he'll have like stretches in games where it's like, oh yeah, I know where this is going to be. Like, you know where it's going to end. So he's another one. Like I have a higher end Division I projection for him. And again, like that may not be out of high school. It may be later on, but like I'm a big fan of him. I think just what he does with versatility, size, length, just I think his jump shooting is going to come along. Like his overall offensive skill is coming along. So yeah, I'm really high on AJ. I'm glad you mentioned that was one I kind of circled. I need to watch.
It's hard, man. Texas is full of talent. There's a lot of good teams here. And while we're closing, I'm gonna close it out. But like the high school landscape has changed in terms of recruiting and what coaches are looking for. When I'm talking to them, I always ask them, how do you recruit? What's your mix? Is it, how many portal guys, how many freshmen are you looking for? So it's really hard, but you guys do a great job of, watching talent, watching games, getting that information, knowing where it's at. But we're gonna have a really busy weekend this weekend. Not too many of those crazy conversations that Brandon wants to have about drafting kids in the first round that have no business being drafted.
Ronnie James #1.
Yeah,
I remember
exactly.
Hey, now hold on.
We're gonna have to work this weekend. Brandon can't be on that.
If the Hawks had LeBron James, think about how relevant the franchise would be. He should have listened to me.
Who would they have gone past the first round?
No, we don't care about winning. The NBA is about entertainment. The NBA is about entertainment.
You might be right, though. I promise you might be right.
They don't want to talk about Shea's winning. They want to talk about him drawing fouls.
He's a foul merchant. The foul merchant.
Right.
They don't want, like with Halliburton, they don't want to talk about his productivity. They want to talk about how he would beef with Dr. Umar if they seen each other outside. They don't want to like that. You know what I mean? Like it's That's not true. About basketball. It's about entertainment.
No, that's very true. That's very true. But man, Ani, I know you're gonna be coming up today, man. Have a safe trip. Brandon, where are you here now or are you in Austin still?
I'm still at ATX. I got a Primo Rice concert tomorrow, so I'm gonna be getting there.
Oh man, he's in Austin?
Yeah, he's coming up to Austin tomorrow.
I ain't gonna lie.
You're gonna oh my gosh. Ani, we have to work on him. I've been trying.
There's no hope. I'm done.
I've been trying to get him to focus for so long now, and I've given
seeing him alive and breathing is just a plus. Like, I'm okay with that. Like as long as he's breathing, like I'm okay.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I claimed this guy as a mentee for sure. He's put a bad rep on my name, man. But no, man, I appreciate it. It was great. If you're watching, if you just kind of came in halfway through or whatever, the replay will be up as soon as we end the stream. It'll load back up. You can watch the whole thing here or on the YouTube channel at Hoop DFW. But man, yeah, see us out this weekend. Speak, say what's up. We'll be watching, evaluating, connecting with folks. And, making sure kids get seen, man, because that's the business that we're in. So, sure. Ani Umana with all everything. Top 100 committee, field of 68, Ballislife, 5-state hoop report.
Athlete.ai, let's go.
Athlete.ai. They'll be in the building this weekend, right?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, Athlete.ai will be in the building. Get those highlights in. Sign up for the app. Get going on that. Brandon Jenkins, 247 Sports, and then myself, Charles Campbell, hoopdfw.com, man. Can we do a recap after it's all done?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. We'll do a recap after it's all done. But man, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Have a great one.
All right, peace out.